Let's get ready to story.
When I heard about the theme for this, I knew exactly what story I had to tell you. So, okay, it's 1981. I'm 21 years old. I'm studying in England, and during the breaks between semesters, I'm traveling around Europe with my friend Larry. We take a train from Calais all the way to Athens, and we fly from Athens to Jerusalem, where my friend Rick is studying at Hebrew University. And so he takes us all around Jerusalem. It's a really cool city. We're doing all these really neat things, but everywhere we go, people are saying, no, you gotta go to Dahab. You gotta go to Dahab, man. You gotta go to Dahab. So I'm like, okay, well, what's Dahab? Dahab is the best beach in Israel. Okay, all right, so we're gonna go to Dahab, we decide. Now, where is Dahab? I don't know. I say it's in the Sinai. Well, the Sinai is this like vagina-shaped peninsula that connects Egypt and Israel. And in 1981, the Sinai was a part of Israel, so you could just go there. But since that time, it's been given back to Egypt, so none of you can go to Dahab anymore, really, just go there. But so there it was, and we had to take these buses from Jerusalem, and we finally get to Dahab. And it's a Bedouin village on the Red Sea. Now, the Bedouins, if you know anything about them, they were nomads. So they go, they travel, they go from place to place. They never stay anywhere for long. So nomads don't build luxury hotels. Nomads build, apparently, huts. And they build them out of grass and driftwood and whatever happens to be lying around. So we've come there for like a 4-day stay. And where can you stay in Dahab? You rent a hut. Now, the huts are kind of like Gilligan's Island huts, if you remember that, but they're like half the size. Like this high off the ground. And you have to crawl into the hut to get in it. And I get in the hut and I look up and the ceiling is made out of old cardboard and some little girl's old winter coat. What a winter coat is doing in the middle of the Sinai Desert, I can't figure out at that moment. But it really bothers me. So I'm thinking, I don't know if I really, but then they told me how much it costs to stay there in this hut. 50 cents a day for the three of us. All three of us, 50 cents a day. That part I liked a lot. So I'm thinking, okay, I'll make do with this. Now we had to, there's no running water, there's no electricity, so there's no restaurants. So we had to bring all of our food and water. The water part's very important later on in the story. So we brought all this stuff. Now we bought this stuff. I wasn't in charge of getting the food, and because what we ended up getting was a whole bunch of cans of something called cholent. T-C-H-O-L-E-N-T. Cholent is what we're going to eat the whole time that we're there. And I find out that this is meat. It's like a Jewish stew. It says on the can, a traditional Jewish dish. And it's meat and potatoes and beans and barley cooked for like 92 hours until it becomes this unrecognizable mush. And we've got a can opener, so I can open the can and we eat it. There's no heating. You can't even heat it up. So you're eating room temperature cholent with a spoon. That's where our meals are. And they're all telling me, no, Mike, this is going to be fun. And I don't know if this is going to be fun. But anyway, so we're in the roof of the thing is just cardboard and this little girl's coat. So 5 o'clock in the morning, the sun starts coming. We're in the desert. The desert sun is coming in. It wakes us up. And I found out the thing that you don't want to know about Dahab, which is that if the Dahab City Council wanted to pull some strings, they could get Dahab named as the fly capital of the world. There are so many flies and they're on you all the time. There's one thing I don't like. It's having insects crawling all over you. It's not pleasant for me. So flies in my eyes, in my ears, they're crawling up my swimming trunks. Well, how can I get away from the flies? I said, there's one way. There's only one way to get away from the flies in Dahab. You have to go snorkeling. Well, that makes sense to me. If I'm in the water, the flies aren't going to follow me into the water. So I get in the water, I put on the snorkeling equipment, I go in there. Oh my God, this is amazing. It's like being in the aquarium at some Chinese restaurant because all the coral is all these different colors and the fish are swimming around you. It's so fantastic. And I was thinking there's no flies and I'm in there in the water and it's so fabulous. And then I couldn't stay in anymore because my snorkel holding muscles were getting really tired, and the thing was tight around my head to keep the water out, so I had to come up out of the water. And then I had my second amazing thing I found out that day. Dahab was a topless beach. I find out, and I'm like, oh my God, there's tits everywhere. I'm looking, I'm like swimming towards the shore to get to there's gotta be like 57 tits just out there. I could see them. And I'm like, oh my God. And so I'm out of the water. I'm just looking around, trying to be casual. I'm 21 years old. I'm not all that experienced, so I'm seeing these things are the big ones and little ones. It's great. But then the flies start landing on me. No, not the flies. So I have to go back in the water. But if I'm in the water, I can't see the tits. And if I'm in the tits, flies are all over. All right, okay. So finally, when the sun goes down, the flies will go wherever they go. 3 days back and forth in the water. And so, oh God, I haven't even got to the killing me part yet. So anyway, we ran out of water, so we had to drink reclaimed seawater. Now, reclaimed seawater, apparently you just throw some chemicals in it and drain it through somebody's old underwear, and it's drinkable. But it's really not. We had to pour this orange drink stuff in it, and I drank the reclaimed seawater, and it gave me the world's worst case of dysentery. I don't know if you've ever had dysentery, but you don't want dysentery. So I in the middle of the night, it hits me. I start vomiting, like there never will be an end to this vomiting, right? And I thought to myself, you've never known true existential despair until you've had the dry heaves on a clear, starry night in the Sinai Desert. That's what I thought to myself at this time. I'm just getting sicker and sicker. We have to get on the bus and get me back to Jerusalem. And I'm getting hotter and hotter, and my fever, I found out later, went up to 105 degrees. They rushed me to the hospital, but I've got no money. So they convinced me that I should pretend to be this guy named Mark Tesler, who's a friend of Rick's. So they start giving me all this information about Mark Tesler. My name is Mark Tesler. I was born in Vancouver, Canada, September 3rd, 1958. My mother's name is David. No, my mother's name is Francis, and my mother's name is David. My father's name is... I can't even remember what I was supposed to remember, but because I'm pretending I'm committing insurance fraud, because Mark Tesler has insurance, and I don't. And so they bring me in, and I can't speak Hebrew, so they're very suspicious that I've actually been there in Israel for 9 months. They put this thing in me to start feeding me is what it was, but I thought it was truth serum. I thought they were trying to make sure, to find out what I really was. Okay, Hal, I'm going to file a grievance against you if you don't stop with that stupid bell. No, okay. Well, anyway, to make a long story short, I did not die in the hospital. And what doesn't kill you sometimes makes you stronger, but in this case, that's not what happened at all. Thank you very much.